The following is a production of Fenix Media. The views expressed do not necessarily represent those of the company or its advertisers and may contain language that's unsuitable for younger listeners.
Laugh it up, fuzzball.
I'm about to do to you what Limp Bizkit did to music in the late 90s.
Surely you can't be serious.
I am serious. And don't call me Shirley.
Here goes the last DJ.
Gentlemen, I wash my hands of this weirdness.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another brand new episode of the Kristian Fenix Radio Show. It is Tuesday, March 9th. We are your daily dose of laughs and levity in a crazy, crazy world. I'm joined by my co-host, Mr. Tony Sanfilippo. Tony, how you doing this morning?
Doing well, man. Good morning. It is Tuesday, the legit Taco Tuesday. Ready for another fun episode. How you doing this morning?
Doing well. Having fun, where it's our second day over on the reconfigured Fenix Media, the Multiverse of pop culture entertainment, and things are going well so far. So fingers crossed, things keep going in that direction. But with that being said, let's go ahead and kick things off the way we do each and every day with a question for my co-host. Tony, I know your neighbors like to ram jam it every once in a while. Have you ever thought about either talking to them about it or writing them a letter and letting them know, yeah, I can hear you?
No, I just figured just let them just go to town. It's just, when you hear it, it's funny. You're just like, oh, okay. Because it's a natural course of things as a couple. You're going to do those. And, it's not like they do it as much. I haven't heard it in a long time, but when I first got here, it was often. But I guess if it got to the point where it was like obnoxious, where it was all the time, they were hitting the walls and stuff, I'd just be like, hey, a little respect, respect that you're doing that. That's cool.
Right.
Just maybe don't bash the headboard against the wall or something. That's probably what I would do, but I haven't had to.
Well, that's good. Yeah. The walls are thin, and obviously living in a townhome, it's just the things you got to put up with. Luckily, they put up with, your base from your TV system. So I think it's a little give and take. But in this case, a furious woman has written a seething note to her randy neighbors who have been keeping her awake with their deafening sexcapades. The message from the fed-up resident in Brisbane told the new tenants next door that the walls are paper thin, meaning she can hear all their moaning and groaning during their romps. The letter, which has some details too graphic to publish, quickly went viral after being shared on Reddit. It reads, "We were woken up this morning around 12:30 a.m., mortified, drifting from what we thought was a nightmare into reality with the sounds of loud moaning and groaning. You are showing very little respect for the people living all around you who have little kids who are traumatized by the noise. Your sexcapade was then followed by laughing and chatting until very early morning hours. We can actually hear every word you say. Can you please keep it down? And please, please close your windows when you have sex because it is not sexy at all. If this happens again, we will call in for noise control and will name and shame your address on the Paddington Milton Facebook news group. There are recovering sex and porn addicts living in the flats next to you who would appreciate that you keep any nudity and sexcapades private like normal, respectful people do. One of the neighbors has now said that she would have preferred a more polite message and dubbed its author a Karen. They wrote, like in all honesty, as funny as the encouragement to just be even louder is, I don't actually want to disturb my neighbor's sleep, and I don't particularly want them to hear me having sex. So, of course, I'm going to try and keep it down and shut my goddamn windows. Probably a good idea when you're living in a townhome or an apartment.
Well, I love how that one person was like, we're recovering sex addicts. No, it sounds like you're just not getting any and you're just pissed off. Like, You can shrug it off. I mean, come on, let's just be real. As adults, at some point you're gonna have sex, and it is what it is. And in the moment, it's not like you control. All right, well, the game plan is you're gonna be real quiet. But let's do the checklist. Is the window shut? Is the walls padded so we don't bump with the headboard? Nope. Okay, we better get pillows behind there. You don't do that stuff. You're in the moment, and just stuff happens, and get over it. And that's the thing. It's just a simple, like, the Karen could have left it and just said, "Hey, neighbor, a little loud, little rambunctious. Just could you tone it down next time? And also enjoy." Exactly. That's it. You could have really spun the good relationship that way, versus going, "I'm gonna embarrass you and put you on the town's little Facebook page." Yeah. Get over yourself. That legit is a Karen for sure.
The funny thing is, there's a picture of this letter. It wasn't printed on normal letter size paper. It was printed on that ledger size paper that's like extra long. It's
what you write all the way to the ledge.
But it takes all kinds. Be respectful, but at the same time, if you are on the quote unquote receiving end of things, be respectful in your response as well.
Absolutely.
With that being said, we have a wonderful show lined up for you guys today. It is Tuesday. Let's talk about today's show, shall we?
It is Taco Tuesday!
It is Taco Tuesday, and as we do on Tuesdays, we've got Animal Tales, sponsored by roughriders.org. We have a segment called Flying the Friendly Skies. We have a call-in contest today. It is another edition of Tony Beatdown. We have helicopter parents. We round out the day with This Day in History, and Tony is up next with the entertainment news. Folks, do not go anywhere. We will be right back.
Welcome to Calvin's Barbershop.
You all gotta see this.
I don't even want to know what you're looking at on that phone.
Well, you should. I was learning about the dangers of high blood pressure and that we need to get ours checked regularly. High blood pressure can increase the risk of heart attack or stroke, but this text program can help keep it at a healthy range. Just text Barbershop to 97779 to sign up.
I'll get right on it as soon as I'm done with this baby panda video.
Text Barbershop to 97779. A message from the American Heart Association and the Ad Council.
It's important to plan ahead for emergencies, like the storm. When it kicked in, we had a plan.
Separated.
We were able to get in touch with each other in no time.
Idea how to find each other.
The whole experience was fine.
The most frightening 10 hours of my life.
If there's one piece of advice I'd offer other moms out there, it's to stay calm and keep to the plan.
Message.
Some parents plan ahead, some don't. Make sure you know where to find your family in an emergency. Start your plan at ready.gov. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
I spend a lot of time in the backyard, and I'm the center of attention at summer barbecues. In '96, I made some of the tastiest s'mores. And in '09, it was me, your backyard fire pit, that accidentally started a wildfire when a summer breeze carried one of my embers into some dry brush.
Spark a change, not a wildfire. Visit SmokeyBear.com. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Hope you enjoyed your meal. And I just want to say, he's lucky to have a brother like you.
Lucky? Caring for my brother is far from easy. But he's a part of me, like my arms and legs, so I'll be his. No time for tired. Nothing can disable this love. He needs me, but I'm the lucky one, even though I need help now and then.
If you're caring for a loved one, visit aarp.org/caregiving for care guides and community. Support for your strength. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
What if I told you that a tornado was going to happen tomorrow, right where you live? That it would touch down at exactly 3:17 p.m., and I told you the exact path it would take. You would, of course, prepare. You would talk with your loved ones, and you'd make a plan today. It's true, I can't tell you a tornado will strike tomorrow, but shouldn't you have a plan anyway? Go to ready.gov/communicate and make your emergency plan today. Don't wait. Communicate. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
This is Mario Andretti. You know me as a race car driver, but I'm also a Meals on Wheels volunteer. I've raced against the sport's biggest personalities, but I've never met more vibrant, amazing people than the seniors served by Meals on Wheels. You can make a difference by dropping off a hot meal and saying a quick hello. So, America, let's do lunch. Volunteer your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org.
This message brought to you by Meals on Wheels America and the Ad Council.
You're listening to Fenix Media. Listen live and explore more great shows at phoenixmedia.us. Get everything you need for the Kristian Fenix radio show over at phoenixmedia.us or on Facebook at facebook.com/Fenix Media Radio. Now back to the show. And we are back, folks. This is the Kristian Fenix radio show. Now we've got a little thing called the Fenix Line. It is our 24-hour-a-day, 7-day-a-week voicemail line, giving you guys the opportunity to chime in on anything whatsoever. Maybe you're tired of your neighbors having loud sex next to you. We want to know about it. Give us a call at 855-PHOENIX-RADIO. That's 855-FENIX-RDO or 855-336-4973. All we ask is that you keep it entertaining. We'll compile those together, put them out in a future show. Now, speaking of entertaining, Tony is here with the entertainment news.
Good morning, everybody. It is Tuesday, March 9th, and here's your Filippo Fast 5. Katie Couric will be the Jeopardy guest host this week, so that's who's on board if you want to watch Jeopardy. This Beast, the Kurt Sutter, he teams with Blumhouse for Netflix Monster Hunt movie. LG Petrov, frontman for Swedish metal favorites Entombed. Butchered that. Never heard of the band, but he passed away at 49.
Is it Entombed?
Is it Entombed? It could be. Entombed. I don't know. I can't say the word, but Entombed we'll go with. It sounds better. But he passed away at 49. QB Dak Prescott, Dallas Cowboys reach a 4-year, $160 million deal. So now I believe he's the highest paid quarterback in the NFL. District Attorney declines to charge Denver Broncos linebacker Von Miller after investigation for an incident this last part of the season. So looks like Von will be able to come back and not have to worry about penalties and suspensions and most importantly jail time. So that's kind of like the good thing right there. So good job, Von. Stay out of trouble. All right, going on to the entertainment news here. We live in kind of a weird world where, things from the past used to be acceptable, but not necessarily acceptable today. And there's always somebody being canceled or eliminated from the world. Well, fatality. Yep, this one stinks. It appears that Pepe Le Pew has officially been canceled, as the controversial cartoon skunk will no longer be featured in any upcoming projects in the works at Warner Brothers TV. It was reported that Pepe had totally been scrubbed from a planned scene in Space Jam: A New Legacy and wouldn't even be making a cameo in the sequel. Hollywood Reporter confirmed that there are no plans for Pepe to return in any other animated movies or shows either. In recent days, Pepe came under fire in a New York Times opinion piece criticizing the skunk as a character who normalized rape culture. The op-ed was penned in the wake of another recent controversy, geez, words are hard for me today, with Dr. Seuss Enterprises pulling 6 books from publishing due to insensitive imagery. While the article put the spotlight back on Pepe, word his decision to cancel the skunk was made at Warner Brothers over a year ago. There was supposed to be a big scene for Pepe in Space Jam 2 before the scene was nixed. Director Terrence Nance had filmed a live-action scene with singer-actress Greasy Santo that would have had the Jane the Virgin star putting Pepe in his place when he tried to hit on her. The scene would have also revealed that Penelope had filed a restraining order against Pepe and LeBron James telling the skunk that he can't grab other tunes without their consent. Santo is reportedly upset the scene was axed, feeling that it sent a positive message with Pepe getting his comeuppance. So Pepe has been around since 1945, originally voiced by Mel Blanc. He's always been that really like Francais, like definitely always over that cat. I'm assuming that's who Penelope is. That had the white stripe, and he mistaked her for a skunk. But by the end, it was her chasing him. That's how it always flipped, if I remember right. Like, and then he was the one running because now he had to commit. Like all his charms and his strong oncoming. And it's a cartoon, folks. It is a cartoon. Like, this skunk is not a real thing. It is an animated drawing. That's it. But that was always kind of the thing. It was basically him in the end, like he had to give up, like he was the single guy. But then when he won the chase, he didn't want it. And then the chase wanted him. So it was always like how every Looney Tune episode went with him, at least.
It would have been
just
more
ridiculous.
Yeah, it would have been more effective to keep those scenes in the movie. Obviously, it's sort of a meta comment on what's going on today. But canceling a cartoon over something like that is ridiculous. Are we going to cancel Wile E. Coyote because he promotes violence, dropping anvils on people and using explosives?
No.
Where's the line?
Yeah. Well, yeah, and I think that's it too. You said it perfectly. By having it in there, you could have spun it. You could have changed his character at that point. He finally got put in his place. So if you ever used him in the future, he didn't have to be that way anymore. But
apparently now it's just easier to forget that they even existed and just wipe them out.
Yeah, which sorry, I always remember if you showed me a picture, I know who that is. So you can't undo it. WandaVision star Paul Bettany reveals his Marvel future as Vision. Since the ending of Avengers Infinity War, throughout the entirety of WandaVision on Disney+, many fans of the MCU have been wondering what's next for Vision and actor Paul Bettany. It was uncertain that his character's resurrection was permanent, and the show eventually revealed... Sorry, there's spoilers here. The Scarlet Witch recreated from his memory while his body was left to be experimented on by SWORD. By this new version of Vision had an awakening in the series finale of WandaVision thanks to a thought experiment and some intervention from his Westview-created counterpart, and the character's fate is now unknown. Bettany has said he is not done with Marvel Studios just yet. He spoke to Esquire magazine about his time on WandaVision and made it clear he plans to stick around in the MCU for a very long time.
Good news, everyone!
I love Vision. Yes, I'm in, said Bettany when asked if he played Vision forever. The actor expressed excitement for a substantial chance to dig into the android. His character only played minor roles in the Iron Man and Avenger movies before appearing in WandaVision. He wondered if his character he always wondered what his character would look like without Wanda by his side. I mean, that's the right thing, right? I've never had a loved one to lose. I won't do his accent because that's just going to drag it out. There is so much to get into with him because it's 10 minutes here, 10 minutes there in the movies. Now we're sort of just starting to peel back some of the stuff. So Bettany, who trolled everybody saying there would be a huge cameo, pulled double duty in the last episode of WandaVision after it was revealed his body was reassembled. The two Visions faced off in Wanda's Hex proved to be a major highlight for fans, but it was tough for the actor playing the two roles. I was super intimidated by myself, Bettany joked. I would come in one day, I would be Vision or the Vision. Then Adam, my stunt guy, would play Vision, and he learned all of the dialogue, and for both parts, he was brilliant. We would play the scene like that, and then the next day he would come in, and he would get the Vision, and then I would get Vision. Are you confused yet? And then he would play the scene like that, and the same fight, so they could always have some of my Bella Fascia on camera at some point. It was more confusing than I had sort of allotted. It used up all my brain. But either way, great news to know that he will be coming back to the role. And I mean, watching the show, you kind of got that. Like, he was, thank God they didn't just write him off. I kind of thought, before they introduced the White Vision, I kind of thought, like, at the end he would just dissipate, like he'd say his goodbye and then that would have been it.
Mm-hmm. I enjoyed the two different versions that he played. I mean, you could see in the scene where they're in the library floating around each other talking, they felt like two very different characters, which, is hard to do when it's the same actor playing both roles. But he's such a great actor that he pulled it off, and I can't wait to see what he does with the white version of Vision that we get to see. And that's the version that we grew up with as kids.
Right.
I'm excited.
It's the one you got to play with in that Captain America and the Avengers game.
Yep.
David Schwimmer has given a Friends reunion update, and he has said who will not be hosting. Randy Dawn is you don't need that. I'm Ron Burgundy. I've just read the first part of the story, and it's just telling me who wrote the article. We don't need that. So we know that Friends is definitely happening. So that's a great thing. That's going to be on HBO Max. New details came from David Schwimmer, who played Ross on Friends, told Cohen that he'll be shooting scenes in April. In a little over a month, I'm heading out to LA. So finally, we figured out a way, I think, to film it safely. And there's going to be a portion of it that we film outside because of, for safety protocols. About this time last year, fans had a reason to get all excited thanks to the long-desired reunion being announced. But shooting was postponed because of COVID-19. Now it seems like we're really getting underway. So who'll be hosting it? Cohen asked. And David Schwimmer said, well, it's not Ellen DeGeneres. Can you say who it is? I don't know if I can, actually. I should have found that out. I apologize. I can tell you it's not Ellen. It's not Billy Crystal. And then he fired a question at Cohen. Andy, is it you? Oh my God, I wish it was. And that's where things stand for now. So HBO Max will be the place. And if it's anything like the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air reunion, I got a feeling this is going to be a fun one to get the gang back together. And I haven't seen all the Friends episodes, but I would be excited to see this.
Yeah, I hope it's along the lines of that Fresh Prince reunion. Will Smith was actually the host of that. Obviously, he was the star of Fresh Prince. I wonder if maybe one of the Friends cast members might be hosting this one as well. But nonetheless, I've seen the series multiple times, probably 6, 7, 8 times now. One of my favorites of all time, and can't wait for the reunion.
What if it was Reese Witherspoon, Tom Selleck, or Brad Pitt hosting it?
I hope it's the actress who played Janice.
Oh, that would be good. That would be good. But that is your entertainment news today. Let's roll on to those Taco Tuesday, March 9th birthdays.
It's my birthday!
Oh, yeah. Would help if I actually had the birthdays up, right?
You could guess. Right?
Yeah, Emmy Award-winning actor who became known for playing quirky Dr. Spencer Reed on the CBS drama Criminal Minds. Matthew Gray Gubler. Is it Gubler? Gubler? I don't know. I'm Filippo in names today like crazy. He's 41. Snoop Dogg's protege, who was formerly known as Little Bow Wow and gained fame after the release of his album Beware of Dog in 2000. He's one of the hosts of BET Show 106 in Park. Bow Wow. He's not even little no more. He's just Bow Wow. He's 33. He played Apocalypse in X-Men. Ironically enough, X-Men Apocalypse. And he also played he played Poe.
Poe Dameron.
Poe Dameron. Sorry, jeez. I shouldn't be on the radio today. I can't put things together for some reason. I don't know what my deal is. Anyways, Poe Dameron is 42. That's Oscar Isaac. Former Marine who began hosting the Steve Wilkos Show in 2007 was first introduced as the Director of Security on the Jerry Springer Show. Steve Wilkos is 56. This guy had one role in his entire life, and he'll always be known for it. Emmanuel Lewis, who played Webster, is 49. And this guy had a bitchin' mullet and played for the Seattle Seahawks and was known as the Boz, Brian Bosworth, 55. And that is your celebrity birthdays for March 9th. Happy birthday.
Well, folks, that does it for the entertainment news. When we come back, it's Tuesday, so we're going to be going through Animal Tales, sponsored by roughriders.org. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back after these messages.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Okay, what are you wearing right now?
Nothing.
That's right. So mommy's going to teach you how to dress yourself. Underwear always comes first, name tag at the back, then pants, then shirt. Get the first button in the right hole or you have to start all over. Socks going first, then shoes, right on right, left on left. With shoelaces, just take the ends, cross them over, switch the loops, the rabbit goes down the hole, pull tight, and you're left with bunny ears. Got it? Why are your pants on your head?
Most parenting is hard to do in just 2 minutes. But 2 minutes twice a day making sure they brush their teeth is easier, and it could help save them from a lifetime of tooth pain. Visit 2min2x.org to find out more. A message from the Partnership for Healthy Mouths, Healthy Lives, and the Ad Council.
This message is for all of you sitting in the passenger seat. And apologies if it gets a little uncomfortable. But how does it feel to be at the mercy of someone who thinks a random text is more important than your life? Someone who takes their eyes off the road while speeding along in a 3-ton hunk of steel. Freaky, right? Well, why not just ask them to stop? Or better yet, volunteer to text for them. It might be a little awkward, but believe me, you'll live.
Learn more at stoptextstoprex.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration.
We are live outside the home of Joe and Rosie Goddard, where a pretty big tickle fight broke out just minutes ago. Sources say their father instigated the laughter. Let's go inside for a comment. Apparently, they have no comment. Dads, let this be a reminder that it only takes a moment to make a moment. Call 877-4DAD-411 or visit fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
How's it going?
I'm having a stroke.
Are you going to shake my hand?
I'm having a stroke.
Wow, you're not even moving your arm.
I'm having a stroke.
When someone is having a stroke, they may not be able to say it with words, but their body language will tell you loud and clear. Look for FAST. F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. S, speech difficulty. T, time to call 911 immediately. Know the sudden signs. Spot a stroke fast. Visit strokeassociation.org. Brought to you by the American Stroke Association and the Ad Council.
Hello, Goobo. What have you got planned for today?
Come on, this way.
Adventure can be found anywhere, but the best place to start is in the forest.
It's the most powerful magic there is.
Head outside to discover incredible animals.
Wow.
And beautiful plants that come together to create an unforgettable adventure. So grab your loved ones and explore a world of possibilities. Visit discovertheforest.org to find the closest forest or park to you. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the U.S. Forest Service.
My teacher said that we should have a plan in case of an emergency. Do we have one?
First thing I'm going to do is grab a flashlight with dead batteries.
I'm going to start randomly throwing clothes in the bag. You two will be hiding in the closet and Dad won't be able to find you.
And that's when we both start crying.
Uncontrollably. Can you pass the cutlets?
Winging it is not an emergency plan. Make sure your kids know what to do during an emergency, who to call, where to meet, what to pack. Search Ready Kids at nyc.gov or call 311. Brought to you by the New York City Office of Emergency Management and the Ad Council.
You're listening to Fenix Media, the future of broadcasting. Listen live at phoenixmedia.us. Get everything you need for the Kristian Fenix Radio Show over at phoenixmedia.us or on Facebook at facebook.com/Fenix Media Radio. Now back to the show. Indeed. This is the Kristian Fenix Radio Show. Now, we are all over social media with many of you watching us as we speak on Facebook Live or YouTube Live. And if you want to get a hold of us on social, you can. I'm available at facebook.com/Kristian Fenix Radio. That's Kristian with a K, Phoenix with an F, radio, of course, with an R, or on Instagram and Twitter at Phoenix Media Radio. Tony is available at facebook.com/Tony.Sanfilippo. That's SANFILIPPO.94, or on Instagram at Tony.Sanfilippo81. Now, being that it is Tuesday, we like to run down Animal Tales, sponsored by roughriders.org. Rough Riders is a local 501c3 nonprofit dedicated to the transport of animals from the outlying rural shelters where there's a chance for euthanasia, bringing them into the more metro area here where we work with local shelters and rescues to find them homes, give them a second chance at life. If you want to learn more about Rough Riders, head over to roughriders.org. That's RUFF Riders.org, or on Facebook at facebook.com/Rough Riders Saves. And without further ado, let's get into Animal Tales.
Dogs and the cats, they take up the middle, where the honeybee hums and the cricket fiddles, the donkey brays and the pony neighs, the old grey badger sighs.
Listen to the bass, it's the one on the bottom, where the bullfrog croaks and the hippopotamus moans and groans with the big to-do, and the old cow just goes moo.
I feel like I need a harmonica and a banjo. It's just, a jug to blow into.
Right. You're just ready to roll with that.
Exactly. All right, let's start with our first story in Animal Tales. Coming out of Lexington, Kentucky. Don't worry, they're fine. That's the message Elaine Collins has for passerbys at her Lexington home. Elaine says the first thing her family's dogs, Mia and Rowdy, figured out when they moved to their new home was how to get on the roof. She says they love to supervise the neighbors, play tag, and nap. Elaine says the pooches will get up there to hang out, rain or shine. Elaine says several people posted about them on Facebook and stopped their cars to tell them they were up there. Because of the general concern expressed for the dog's safety, Elaine says they went ahead and put up a sign to put everyone's mind at ease. The sign shows a picture of the two dogs. It says, if you see them up top, feel free to stop. But no need to knock. They are safe and we are home. Interesting. It's one of those things that, if you're driving by a house and you see dogs on a roof, I would certainly stop. I would knock on the door.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, that's especially, their little legs, if they have to jump off that roof and when they land, ooh.
Yeah. If that's somewhere they're used to and they're not jumping off and people are home and they know, I guess the sign makes sense. People can take pictures and enjoy the Lexington roof dogs as they're known. But, other than that, they know their boundaries. They know not to jump off.
Well, that's good. Yeah, I'd still be a little worried, though, if I just was randomly driving and saw some dogs on the roof.
Right. Well, don't worry, Tony, because they are safe and the folks are
all
home.
right. Whew. Yeah.
Let's move on to our next story in Animal Tales. So caught on camera was the incredible moment. The incredible moment. Boy, I'm having a Tony moment here.
Yep, I'm rubbing off on you, bud. Rubbing off.
The incredible moment, a penguin escaped a pod of hungry killer whales by leaping into a dinghy full of tourists. Video footage captured the brave beast repeatedly jumping out of the water during the dramatic chase as concerned tourists cheered it on during the Freedom Clash. The penguin darted between tourist boats before managing to fling itself aboard, where it stood proudly surrounded by the beaming holidaymakers. Travel blogger Matt Karsten, 40, and his wife Anna, 32, were taking a tour through icebergs in the Gerlach Strait, Antarctica, when a group of orcas swam up on their Zodiac boat. The apex predator spotted the Gentoo penguin swimming nearby and, sensing a quick snack, gave chase after the solitary bird tried to give them the slip. Heart-stopping footage captured the penguin repeatedly jumping out of the icy water with the killer whales in close pursuit. In a desperate attempt to get safety, the penguin makes a flying attempt at getting into one of the boats. And in a somewhat comical scene, the bird belly flops the side of the vessel and bounces back into the water. Mere seconds later, the penguin successfully makes it over the rim of the boat and is helped aboard by the tourists, where it is quickly cheered on by the crowds. Matt said, it was crazy to see it in person. It was like watching a National Geographic episode on location. I imagine the penguin was very relieved to get away. We were heading out for a scenic Zodiac cruise between icebergs when a large pod of orcas showed up playing in the water beside us. They swam right up to the camera and said hello. Suddenly, the orcas started chasing a Gentoo penguin trying to eat it. The travel blogger said the orcas trailed behind the Zodiac boat for a while after the ordeal. They did give up in the end, leaving the penguin safe with his new friends, he added. And there's pictures of the penguin hanging out on the boat with the tourists around. I'm going to post this up on our Facebook page for people to check out. You can also see the footage of the penguin both bouncing off the side of the boat, getting into the boat, but luckily it was safe from the orcas. Wasn't that midday snack that they were hoping for.
No, well, and that's a crazy cool thing to see while you're out there doing an excursion. It's a little intimidating to see the orcas. Well, that is cool, but you're out in their domain, and then just to have a penguin randomly pop in your boat, and you're just like, oh, okay, that happened, right on.
It's a lot of fun, but you got to see the pictures. Penguin's adorable, and it looks like it was a fun time by all. Nobody got hurt. So,
well, that's good.
Let's move on to our final story in Animal Tales. Well, from goat yoga to sound baths, the world is full of wellness trends to soothe and calm both body and spirit. Now, a self-care practice hailing from the Netherlands is promising practitioners serenity and perhaps a smile or two. Dubbed Kooknuffelen in Dutch, literally cow hugging. The practice.
I'm Dutch, isn't that weird?
The practice is centered on the inherent healing properties of a good human-to-animal snuggle. Cow cuddlers typically start by taking a tour of the farm before resting against one of the cows for 2 to 3 hours. Wow. The cow's warmer body temperature, slower heartbeat, and mammoth size can make hugging them an incredibly soothing experience, and giving the animal a back rub, reclining against them, or even getting licked is all part of the therapeutic encounter. Cow cuddling is believed to promote positivity and reduce stress by boosting oxytocin in humans, the hormone released in social bonding. The calming effects of curling up with a pet or emotional support animal, it seems, are accentuated when cuddling with larger animals. This wholesome pastime emerged in rural Dutch provinces more than a decade ago and is now part of a wider Dutch movement to bring people closer to nature and country life. Today, farms in Rotterdam, Switzerland, and even the United States are offering cow hugging sessions and promoting the activity's joy-inducing, stress-busting properties. Tony, we've got some cows around here. When you come out, you can do some cow cuddling?
Yeah, definitely. You know, in high school, I did some cow cuddling. This is why I'm single. See, you take that chance to be the ass on the radio show, and then the karma will bite you in the ass later. You know, it's like that kid that requested the song yesterday. That was kind of an ass move, but it was funny. And that joke, you know of one. So there you go. That was the infamous camping trip where I stuck my hand in the fire and made out with
a lot of alcohol involved. Not quite the cow cuddling that they're promoting here, but again, we will post this up on the Facebook page for you guys to check out. And if you want to hug a cow, we've got plenty of them out here in Northern Nevada. You can do such. So, with that being said, that does it for Animal Tales on this Tuesday. When we come back, we've got a segment called Flying the Friendly Skies. Don't go anywhere. We'll see you guys in a few.
This is Mario Andretti. You know me as a race car driver, but I'm also a Meals on Wheels volunteer. I've raced against the sport's biggest personalities, but I've never met more vibrant, amazing people than the seniors served by Meals on Wheels. You can make a difference by dropping off a hot meal and saying a quick hello. So, America, let's do lunch. Volunteer your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org.
This message brought to you by Meals on Wheels America and the Ad Council.
People been saying to your friend, get a different face, and posting on their feed, they're super ugly. The things they say to them online are cruel and they're not true. So tell your friend, I'll stand up for you. Don't worry, I know what to do.
Know someone being bullied online? You can be a witness and make a difference by letting the world know it isn't cool and by letting your friend know you care. Learn more at eyewitnessbullying.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
Hope you enjoyed your meal. And I just want to say, he's lucky to have a brother like you.
Lucky? Caring for my brother is far from easy. But he's a part of me, like my arms and legs, so I'll be his. No time for tired. Nothing can disable this love. He needs me, but I'm the lucky one, even though I need help now and then.
If you're caring for a loved one, visit aarp.org/caregiving for care guides and community. Support for your strength. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Allison is perfect. I mean, she'd never tell you that. She's humble and perfect. She likes everyone. She even likes her untidy roommate's weird guinea pig. Allison, wait, are you texting and driving? Allison, no. That's the exact opposite of what I was just saying about you. Why, Allison? Why? Texting and driving makes good people look bad. Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
I'm Paul George of the Indiana Pacers. When I was 6, my days were spent playing basketball. When I was 6, my dream was to make it to the NBA. When I was 6, my mom had a stroke. So I want you to learn to spot a stroke fast. F-A-S-T. F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. S, speech difficulty. T, time to call 911. I'm Paul George. Spot a stroke fast. Visit strokeassociation.org. Brought to you by the American Stroke Association and the Ad Council.
My name is Lola Silvestri, and I'm going to be 95 this year. I was very independent. I fell, and I had to have Meals on Wheels. America, let's do lunch.
1 in 6 seniors faces the threat of hunger, and millions more live in isolation. Drop off a hot meal and say a quick hello. Volunteer for Meals on Wheels by donating your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org. This message brought to you by Meals on Wheels America and the Ad Council.
You're listening to Fenix Media, the future of broadcasting. Explore more great shows at phoenixmedia.us. Get everything you need for the Kristian Fenix Radio Show over at phoenixmedia.us or on Facebook at facebook.com/Fenix Media Radio. Now back to the show. Well, folks, we've made it to the final segment of the first hour of this episode of the Kristian Fenix Radio Show, but don't fret, there's still plenty ahead with our second hour, including our calling contest today. Yes, it's another edition of Tony Beatdown. Now, if you missed a portion of the show, you want to go back and catch up on any of the previous shows, it's easy enough to do so. Head over to phoenixmedia.us, click on the show's link, scroll on down to the Kristian Fenix Radio Show. From there, you can get video, you can get audio as well, or head over to wherever you get podcasts. Apple, Google, Stitcher, Spotify, Anchor Breaker, TuneIn, iHeart, about 20 in all. While you're there, be sure to subscribe. That way you always have the latest episode. Leave a review. Let us know what you think, and tell your friends, because sharing is caring. Now, Tony, I know you like to travel, you like to go on vacation, you recently just got back from Florida, and obviously had to fly there. I was curious if you ever give any thought to the experiences of the flight crew, the flight attendants, the pilots, what they think about, what they do when you're on board, and, maybe some of the cleanliness practices of the crew when... you're going in between, groups of onboard passengers.
Yeah, I definitely think about that. Especially, I'm weird. I know a lot of people like to sit at the front of the plane, and I usually go towards the back. I don't know why. It's easier back there. Not a lot of people there. But anyhow, when I'm usually one of the last ones off the plane, I look around and it's just so messy. Just people leave their magazines, their wrappers, their crumbs everywhere. And it's just like you see these poor flight attendants, they're like scrubbing and cleaning. And, you got to, and then you got to deal with people too. I can imagine during the pandemic, things have been hard with the masks. So like the whole flight, you have to keep on the mask unless you're eating. So all you really got to do is just you have to be currently eating and just pull your mask down, whatever. So that's got to be hard for them to have to tell people masks. I mean, dealing with it in retail, people will always fight you on it. They always want to fight you. Oh, I can't breathe. Well, do you think anyone else can really breathe either? No. You think we like doing it? No. So, I think you got to deal with a lot of idiots and things like that. I'm sure I was very much like one of those idiots, right, when I missed my flight. I'm sure that really infuriated them because now they were worried I was going to delay their flight, and they were trying to figure out how to remedy the situation with the lady. And thank God I was just nice and said, just let it go. It's my fault. But yeah, people deal with, I got to imagine that while on our end, it doesn't look like that's that hard going up and down, handing you snacks. I'm sure it's quite difficult.
Well, with that being said, we've titled this segment Flying the Friendly Skies, where, flight attendants and other crew members are sharing wild secrets and stories about their jobs. For instance, this one from an anonymous flight attendant, for obvious reasons, says, I've been a flight attendant for 7 years. We definitely take notice of who's hot on the plane. We play a game by calling people Bob, boyfriend on board, or a rafty, as in someone you'd want in your raft in the case of a water landing.
Oh, that's funny.
We'll be like, did you see Bob in 16A? Or there's a lot of rafties on this flight. We also notice rude people and talk shit about them as soon as we finish service and are in the galley.
As you should. I mean, you kind of warrant that. If you're going to be an asshole, on the flight, then, you warrant to get made fun of, not know about it, I deal with a lot of them, and they don't know that they're pissing me off, but later they become a part of my story,
And I'm sure like you on, a flight like Southwest where you can pick your seat, and even where you can't pick your seat, if you're one of the first people on, you'll see people coming on and I do it. I'll be like, don't sit here. Don't sit here. Don't sit
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
Like, please sit here. Please sit here.
I'm rude, dude. Sometimes, like, if it's someone I don't like, I'm the same way. I'm like, be a rafty, be a rafty. I didn't know they call it, but I would think, come on, let a cute girl sit by me so we can engage in conversation. But it's normally not. It's normally just some random person you don't want next to you. So then I quickly put the headphones in and go,
yep.
Just pretend. And for those listening, that was me shutting my eyes and pretending I was asleep, because then I don't have to engage in conversation. Yeah,
exactly. I do the same thing. I prefer not to talk on the plane. Just put my headphones on, listen to music, and get the flight over with.
Yeah.
But let's move on with flying. No. Flying the friendly skies. We're talking secrets of the flight crew.
Say what?
This from Emma Burgess 3 says, always wipe down your tray table. They are never cleaned or sanitized between flights. Also, the cleaners only vacuum and briefly look in the toilets, so don't let your babies crawl on the floor. That's probably
good call. That's
Yeah.
very good advice. I didn't think about that.
There are some planes that they even give you these little sanitizing wipes as you either get on board or they're already on the seat, so you can open them up, wipe your seat down. But I always bring some with me just to be safe.
Smart.
Let's keep moving on. We're talking flying the friendly skies.
Say what?
Secrets of flight crews. This from LTQ11 says, with the captain's permission, we will purposely board a flight we already know is delayed, close the door, and taxi out to sit on the tarmac. Otherwise, the crew doesn't get paid for the time that we're delayed. Still, federal regulations require us to return to the gate if we haven't been cleared for takeoff after a certain amount of time. So if you've ever sat out on the tarmac for a long period of time, chances are the flight crew knew about it and they just want to get that extra pay. I don't know about you, Tone. I've been out for an hour or two and it's hot and the AC is not really working and it's frustrating.
It is. That's funny that happens. But yeah, it's not funny when you're on the plane, but it's funny to think that it's because they get paid more. They're like, I'm just going to sit here for a minute.
Yep. Yeah.
2 minutes.
It'd be different if, they gave you some beverage or food service and the AC actually worked. But most of the time, that's not the case. They make you just sit and sweat.
Well, and during the pandemic too, man, flying has sucked because they'll come give you snacks, which is great, but you don't get like drinks anymore. You know what I mean? There's no alcoholic beverages, at least on the Southwest ones I've been on. It's just water. That's all you get. You get they'll come by and they'll give you a little cup of water with ice, and that's what you get.
Yeah. Yeah. And they're, especially on the shorter flights, there's nothing to be had. Well, let's keep moving on. We're talking flying the friendly skies.
Say what?
Ooh, this one has me a little concerned. User ItSid8 says, as a pilot, I've experienced at least one failure on a plane per month. Pretty much every plane flying right now has at least one thing broken and is just waiting to be fixed the next time it's due for maintenance. Chances are you've flown on a plane that had a problem and just didn't know it. That's terrifying. Knowing that parts are broken. And, I've been not on planes, but I've been waiting for planes that, a part needs to be fixed and repaired. I always appreciate that more than knowing that we're taking off with something potentially broken.
Yeah. There was that one a couple weeks ago that flew over from Denver to Hawaii, and right over Broomfield, the one of the engines blew up and the parts fell down, landed in people's yards in that park in Broomfield. It didn't kill anyone, thank God, but it destroyed cars and stuff. But yeah, that'd be frightening.
Yeah,
frightening. If you're sitting there watching it and then you just look out and it's just like, your first thought is like, holy F, this is how it's going to go. I always think about that weird stuff. Like, if the plane goes down, who are you going to call? Like who's the one person you're going to call and say goodbye to? Or at least let them know, like, hey, this is happening. Let people know, yada, yada. I mean, that's tough.
Yeah. There's footage from passengers of that flight of the engine just on fire and engulfed. And, could you imagine what they're all thinking at that moment? I mean, but oof.
Earmuffs, but holy shit. That's what they're thinking. Yeah.
Let's keep moving on. We're talking flying the friendly skies.
Say what?
This from another anonymous flight attendant says, most people probably don't know this, but on the bigger planes, there are beds above the overhead bins so we flight attendants can sleep on longer flights. I had no idea. I know some of the luxury ones have, for passengers, those little pods that, convert into beds, which are really kind of cool. But for the flight attendants, they're sleeping above the luggage bins, apparently.
That's weird.
Yeah.
You don't get no bed. You could sleep in the luggage bins. Scurvy.
Let's keep rolling on.
Say what?
Flying the Friendly Skies, Secrets of Flight Crews. This one from Kate P. 4136. I was on a flight from Minneapolis to Boston. A flight attendant approached me and said, I think someone is having sex in the bathroom. What do I do? I went to the back galley and knocked on the door. Silence. I knocked a second time. Nothing. After the third time, I said, I'm going to give you a couple minutes to stop what you're doing and get dressed. They didn't come out, so I said the in-flight crew must enter. I unlocked the door, saw a vagina, and immediately closed the door. Apparently, these people were joining the Mile High Club.
Hey, I mean, it's one of those challenges. If you're on a long flight and you sneak away, I wonder how often that happens, because that would be tough to do on a Southwest flight, because there's always you always have to walk past like the little area where they sit buckled up, in the beverage area. You always have to walk by that, or the other bathrooms at the front of the plane, and there's no way you could I don't think there's any way you could pull that off in a Southwest one. That'd be real tough. Well, I think it'd be real tough in general. It's not something I want to try because I don't want to get arrested for indecent exposure or anything like that and have all kinds of weird charges put to me. So not something I would try. Now, it'd be different if it was a private plane or something, sure. Why
right.
not?
And those bathrooms are tiny. It's hard enough for one person to fit in there, let alone two.
Yeah.
And then finally in Flying the Friendly Skies.
Say what?
This from Olivia Vaughn 07 says, all of the crew members talk during flight. So if you're rude to one of us, just remember that we all know who you are and where you're sitting. And there will be notes about you in the airline database for future flights. So
that's why you always be nice. Even if it's your fault, be nice, even if they're mean.
Exactly.
And no cow cuddling in the bathroom.
Exactly. Well, be nice, folks, and stick around through our long break. We are headed out for about 7 minutes, and then we'll be back for our second hour. Don't go anywhere. See you guys soon. You're listening to Fenix Media. Listen live and explore more great shows at phoenixmedia.us.
Hamilton was adopted from a rescue in 2008. He really likes to be around people. I get out my mat and I'm doing a downward dog and he's underneath. He's quite the pug about town. He gets invited to a lot of parties. He knows he's a pretty big deal. Look at this little face. How could you not love him?
Hamilton the Pug, Instagram star and shelter pet. Amazing adoption stories start in shelters. Visit theshelterpetproject.org to find a pet near you. Brought to you by Maddie's Fund, the Humane Society of the United States, and the Ad Council.
You make sure his toys don't have any sharp edges. You taught her what to do when the smoke alarm goes off. You do so much to keep your child safe. But are you using the right car seat for your child? Car crashes are a leading killer of children ages 1 to 13. Protect your child's future at every stage of life. For information on the right seat for your child, visit safercar.gov/the-right-seat.
A message from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council. So you see, son, good manners are important. Should I go through it again?
Yes.
Yes, please.
Yes, please.
Exactly. Always say please, thank you, you're welcome, and excuse me. Sit up straight, hold doors open, don't speak with your mouth full, keep your elbows off the table. Share your things, play nice, and generally treat others the way you'd like to be treated. Got it?
Got it.
And stop picking your nose.
Most parenting is hard to do in just 2 minutes. But 2 minutes twice a day making sure they brush their teeth is easier, and it could help save them from a lifetime of tooth pain. Visit 2min2x.org to find out more. A message from the Partnership for Healthy Mouths, Healthy Lives, and the Ad Council.
I'm a retired school psychologist, and helping people was my thing. After my stroke, when Meals on Wheels started, I was on the other end of the stick, so to speak. My name is Julius Gaines, creative writer, poet, photographer.
1 in 6 seniors faces the threat of hunger, and millions more live in isolation. Drop off a hot meal and say a quick hello. Volunteer for Meals on Wheels by donating your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org. This message brought to you by Meals on Wheels America and the Ad Council.
You're listening to Fenix Media, the multiverse of pop culture entertainment. To explore our complete lineup of quality programs, head over to phoenixmedia.us or like our Facebook page at facebook.com/Fenix Media Radio.
From Feature Story News in Washington, I'm Simon Marks. Jury selection has begun in the Minneapolis trial of former police officer Derek Chauvin. He's accused of the murder of George Floyd, the unarmed black man who died after Mr. Chauvin placed his knee on Mr. Floyd's neck for 9 minutes. The process of jury selection is moving at a glacial pace, with the judge and lawyers trying to find people who say they can keep an open mind about the outcome of the case. Here's one exchange with a potential juror from this morning's session.
Did you form an opinion about what you saw?
Mm-hmm.
What was the opinion that you formed when you saw that video?
My opinion is when he tell the guy, I can breathe, and he still do that, So I say, why? What I feel, that's not fair because we are humans,
The court has set 3 weeks aside for the process of seating a jury. Pressure is building on Buckingham Palace to respond to the claims made by the Duke and Duchess of Sussex in their televised interview with Oprah Winfrey. They alleged racism within the House of Windsor and claimed the royal family had cut them off financially. UK Justice Secretary Robert Buckland was asked if the government is going to launch any kind of probe.
These are matters within the royal family, and I think they're matters best left to Buckingham Palace.
President Biden's climate change czar, John Kerry, is in Brussels, discussing preparations for COP26, the upcoming summit due to take place in Glasgow this November. From FSN's Brussels bureau, Lucy Hoff reports.
Like EU Commission President Ursula von der Leyen, President Joe Biden says fighting global warming is amongst his highest priorities. US Climate Special Envoy John Kerry will now meet EU Climate Change Commissioner Frans Timmermans in Brussels to discuss plans for the next UN Climate Summit in November. There'll also be talks about a new weekly Commission meeting on transatlantic climate action. Lucy Hoff, Brussels.
Here in Washington, President Biden is hoping the House of Representatives will quickly pass his $1.9 trillion stimulus bill. It could reach his desk for signature later this week. Democrats say it's a poverty-reducing, pandemic-busting initiative, but Republicans, like Congresswoman Liz Cheney of Wyoming, argue it takes the wrong approach.
The result of that package is going to be middle-class tax increases. We know for sure that it includes provisions that are not targeted, they're not temporary, they're not related to COVID.
But she knows the Democrats have the vote to pass the bill. Uncertainty hangs over the future of the Bidens' 2 German shepherds. The presidential canines have been returned to Delaware after a biting incident involving a White House security official. But there are reports the dogs will return once First Lady Jill Biden wraps up 3 days of travel. From bureaus worldwide, this is FSN.
Keyboard Cat, Hamilton the Pug, and Toast Meets World. These are some of the internet's most beloved pets, and they all have one thing in common. Their stories started in a shelter. Start your story. Adopt a dog or cat today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org to find a pet near you. Training that pet to play the keyboard, that's optional. Start a story. Adopt a shelter or rescue pet today. Brought to you by Maddie's Fund, the Humane Society of the United States, and the Ad Council.
Okay, what are you wearing right now?
Nothing.
That's right. So mommy's going to teach you how to dress yourself. Underwear always comes first, name tag at the back, then pants, then shirt. Get the first button in the right hole or you have to start all over. Socks going first, then shoes, right on right, left on left. With shoelaces, just take the ends, cross them over, switch the loops, the rabbit goes down the hole, pull tight, and you're left with bunny ears. Got it? Why are your pants on your head?
Most parenting is hard to do in just 2 minutes. But 2 minutes twice a day making sure they brush their teeth is easier, and it could help save them from a lifetime of tooth pain. Visit 2min2x.org to find out more. A message from the Partnership for Healthy Mouths, Healthy Lives, and the Ad Council.
How's it going? I'm having a stroke. Are you going to shake my hand? I'm having a stroke.
Wow, you're not even moving your arm.
I'm having a stroke. When someone is having a stroke, they may not be able to say it with words, but their body language will tell you loud and clear. Look for FAST. F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. S, speech difficulty. T, time to call 911 immediately. Know the sudden signs. Spot a stroke fast. Visit strokeassociation.org. Brought to you by the American Stroke Association and the Ad Council.
The storks are bringing me a baby brother. We can do this together.
All right, let's go. Storks know how to keep kids safe. Do you?
What? Oh my gosh, you don't know.
I know.
You don't. Oh man, you laugh when you're uncomfortable.
No. Making sure your child is in the right car seat is one of the steps to safer travel.
I will rock this.
You will rock this. To know for sure that your child is in the right car seat for their age and size, visit safercar.gov/the-right-seat. Cool. Very cool. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
The following is a production of Fenix Media. The views expressed do not necessarily represent those of the company or its advertisers and may contain language that's unsuitable for younger listeners.
Laugh it up, fuzzball.
I'm about to do to you what Limp Bizkit did to music in the late 90s.
Surely you can't be serious.
I am serious. And don't call me Shirley.
Here goes the last DJ.
Gentlemen, I wash my hands of this weirdness.
Welcome back, folks. It's the second hour of this episode of the Kristian Fenix Radio Show. It is Tuesday, March 9th. We are your daily dose of laughs and levity in a crazy, crazy world. Still joined by my co-host, Tony Sanfilippo. Tony, you ready for the fastest hour of the day?
I sure am, man. Fast like Sonic the Hedgehog.
That first hour went by fast.
It really did, man. It was quick. It was very quick.
Seems to be the trend these last couple days, which is nice. You know, obviously, the quicker it goes, the more fun we're having, I'd say.
I think so. I think you can always tell when something's dragging, something's not clicking there. And I think the segments have been great so far today. I look for it. I don't know what this beatdown is today. So being in the dark about something that I have to take on is a little different, but it's not different, but mentally it's like you can't really prepare. You just have to go with it. So.
Oh, and that's the joy of it for us all to listen, to watch, and then see you try to wrap your head around just the questions that I'm going to ask. Now, this is normally the interactive portion of the show where, you know, we talk about a topic, a subject, maybe propose something out there to the world and look for feedback from you guys, the listeners and watchers. But because today we're doing the call-in contest in the next segment, well, we don't have a call-in topic. So a couple things we wanted to cover in the few minutes that we have during this segment. One is the call-in topic for tomorrow, which is simply titled Rejected. Gives you an idea of what it's going to be about. We're going to be talking about rejection stories. This isn't, somebody you've been dating for a while. This isn't, where the relationship's gone bad. This is you were just flat out rejected. And we want to know, do you have a fun or funny story about a time that you've been, well, sadly rejected? In order to do that, give us a call on the Fenix Line at 855-FENIX-RADIO. And you can also chime in live on our Facebook page at facebook.com/Kristian Fenix Radio. And over the last week, we've been utilizing the Stereo app, which is stereo.com/Fenix Media. And it's been a little bit of stereo roulette, bringing on random people to talk about whatever the topic is. Sometimes it's gold, sometimes it's garbage, but we're having fun with it.
It's a lot of fun. I go back and I actually watched it last night, and I put that in my Snap story. And the one where I did the singing, because I didn't know what I sang, and it was funny. I watched it over, it got good response. So, and that was just me being an ass. I just this poor guy, lucid dreams. Yeah, I'll play it for you. And then it just went off. I had a lot of fun with it.
Yeah,
someone asked me if that was planned. I go, no, that was just a total on the fly. Couldn't sing that song for you again if I tried.
Exactly. Yeah, the segment itself's not garbage, just some of the answers we get every once in a while. But, that's what you get when it's so random like it's been.
Right.
The other thing we wanted to talk about is, we mentioned last week in the lead up to this week, Fenix Media, our parent broadcast company, has now switched over to the Multiverse of pop culture entertainment. So instead of being a general talk radio station, now the focus isn't on pop culture. The focus is on pop culture. Boy, words are hard today, Tom.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man, I rubbed off on you from the beginning, and thank God I only had the one segment to really talk. So,
but with that being said, we're covering things like film and TV, video games, comic books, cosplay, anime, tabletop games, all sorts of fun things like that. And we're always bringing on new advertisers and new show hosts. So if you are a show host who currently has a show about pop culture or want to develop a show about pop culture, reach out to us over at Fenix Media, just phoenixmedia.us. All of the contact information is there. And, we can put together a show. Or if you're a business and you want to advertise to a very, niche group of listeners that are rabid fans of pretty much anything we promote, you can do that too. So lots of fun stuff going on here. We're adding new shows every day. We've got all sorts of fun things coming up, but it's been exciting putting all of this together. Now, the Kristian Fenix radio show, not really changing. We're variety, we're comedy anyway. And so, you're not going to see a big change here. Now, one change that we might want to see, and something we've talked about a couple times, is looking for a third co-host. Mm-hmm. We would love to have somebody else, another point of view, another perspective, somebody who is available from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. Pacific, pretty much every weekday, and, that can provide that other point of view. Ideally, somebody who's female. It's not required, but, we'd like to get a little injection of estrogen into the show. Considering Tony and I have very similar views on things.
Yeah, no, it'd be good too. It gives the good humor and stuff. Like when we had our third co-host Ryan, when we started, I actually went back and I watched just the first 10 minutes of our very first episode, which aired May 6th of last year. And, it was just the setup and the format where we're at now. It's so different, but it was really nice having the third person to kind of chime in, tell stories, things like that. And I think having a female on the show would be awesome. It is, Women's Month, it's all about the ladies. It would be great to have the women's perspective on the show. I think that would make it that much better than it already is. So hopefully we get somebody. We've had two almost line up, but of course their personal life schedules don't line up with it. So we've come close. It just hasn't happened yet.
Exactly. Well, folks, we are headed into our break. When we come back this time for our Fenix Face-Off, yes, a Tony Beatdown for one lucky listener, namely Ryan Hill from Reno, Nevada, for a chance to win a wonderful Loot Crate monthly subscription box. Don't go anywhere. You won't want to miss it. We will be right back.
Welcome to Calvin's Barbershop.
You all got to see this.
I don't even want to know what you're looking at on that phone.
Well, you should. I was learning about the dangers of high blood pressure and that we need to get ours checked regularly. High blood pressure can increase the risk of heart attack or stroke, but this text program can help keep it at a healthy range. Just text Barbershop to 97779 to sign up.
I'll get right on it as soon as I'm done with this baby panda video.
Text Barbershop to 97779. A message from the American Heart Association and the Ad Council.
It's important to plan ahead for emergencies, like the storm. When it kicked in, we had a plan. We were able to get in touch with each other in no time.
Idea how to find each other.
The whole experience was fine.
The most frightening 10 hours of my life.
If there's one piece of advice I'd offer other moms out there, it's to stay calm and keep to the plan.
Some parents plan ahead, some don't. Make sure you know where to find your family in an emergency. Start your plan at ready.gov. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
I spend a lot of time in the backyard, and I'm the center of attention at summer barbecues. In '96, I made some of the tastiest s'mores. And in '09, it was me, your backyard fire pit, that accidentally started a wildfire when a summer breeze carried one of my embers into some dry brush.
Spark a change, not a wildfire. Visit SmokeyBear.com, brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Hope you enjoyed your meal. And I just want to say, he's lucky to have a brother like you.
Lucky? Caring for my brother is far from easy. But he's a part of me, like my arms and legs, so I'll be his. No time for tired. Nothing can disable this love. He needs me, but I'm the lucky one, even though I need help now and then.
If you're caring for a loved one, visit aarp.org/caregiving for care guides and community support for your strength. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
What if I told you that a tornado was going to happen tomorrow, right where you live? That it would touch down at exactly 3:17 p.m., and I told you the exact path it would take. You would, of course, prepare. You would talk with your loved ones, and you'd make a plan today. It's true, I can't tell you a tornado will strike tomorrow, but shouldn't you have a plan anyway? Go to ready.gov/communicate and make your emergency plan today. Don't wait. Communicate. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
This is Mario Andretti. You know me as a race car driver, but I'm also a Meals on Wheels volunteer. I've raced against the sport's biggest personalities, but I've never met more vibrant, amazing people than the seniors served by Meals on Wheels. You can make a difference by dropping off a hot meal and saying a quick hello. So, America, let's do lunch. Volunteer your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org.
This message brought to you by Meals on Wheels America and the Ad Council.
You're listening to Fenix Media. Listen live and explore more great shows at phoenixmedia.us. Get everything you need for the Kristian Fenix radio show over at phoenixmedia.us or on Facebook at facebook.com/Fenix Media Radio. Now back to the show. And we are back, folks. This is the Kristian Fenix radio show, and we are headed into our Phoenix
Face Off.
And of course, this edition is a Tony Beatdown, where normally we would pit the caller against you, Tony, in a trivia game of sorts. But Ryan Hill from Reno, Nevada, unfortunately did not pick up his phone. So, Tony, you're going to be playing on his behalf. I'm going to give you 20 questions. You only have to get 10 right. So 10 out of 20 in order for Ryan to be a big winner.
All right, Ryan, I'm going to try to win for you, buddy.
And his chance to win is for a Loot Crate mystery subscription box. It's pretty much everything geeky or nerdy. And folks, if you want your own Loot Crate subscription, we actually are an advertiser. Actually, they're an advertiser with us. Head over to phoenixmedia.us/Loot Crate, and you can get an exclusive offer there. Just utilize that. And, it's a fun box to get every month, exclusive content. And you know what? You never know quite what you're going to get. Cool T-shirts, little figures, pop figures, you name it. And there's usually something fun in there. So with that being said, let's head on into the battle arena for the Tony Beatdown. All right. Today's Tony Beatdown, we're talking about sitcoms. Obviously, Tony, you're a big fan of sitcoms, but sometimes just as important as the characters of a sitcom are the cities of a sitcom. So I'm going to name a sitcom. You have to tell me the city and state that sitcom takes place. Again, I'm going to give you 20. You just have to guess 10 of those. If you get it right, you're going to hear this. That's Tony receiving a beat down. If you get it wrong, you'll hear something other than that. So, Tony, are you ready to play for a chance for Ryan to win?
I had the mute button, so you didn't hear any of the Macho Man. Yeah, I'm ready. I am. Let's go. Yeah.
Yeah. That mute button is important. So
it is.
All right. Let's start off with an easy one. Tony, tell me, what city does Seinfeld take place?
New York.
Good job. Yeah. Easy one to start out. They're going to get
started out. Yeah.
progressively harder, but you know what? All you have to do is get 10 out of 20. So let's move on to the next one. How about Cheers, where everybody knows your name?
That took place in Boston. Boston,
Mass. Massachusetts. Yep.
Massachusetts, yeah.
All right. So far, Tony's given himself the beating, so that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right, that's what we want. Let's move on to our next one. I know you know this one. The show is Full House. What city does that take?
San Francisco, California.
I'm touching myself tonight.
I'm kicking my ass. Do you mind?
All right, now they're going to start getting a little bit harder now. For instance, the next one, and it's a show that I know you don't necessarily watch, but you might know the city, Frasier.
Frasier takes place in Seattle.
That it does. All right. So now you've got your four for four, Tone. You're off to
four for four.
What? Did we just become best friends? Yep.
Well, I think Ryan certainly will think so if you continue on this streak.
Gonna win the loot crate, man.
Exactly. The next one, Married with Children.
Ooh, that's a good question. That one's good. California? But that's a state. Yeah. Sorry, Ryan.
Not even in the correct state is Chicago, Illinois.
Gotcha. Damn.
All right. This one you may or may not know. The Drew Carey Show.
Cleveland.
What state?
Ohio. Because it's the Cleveland Rocks. That's what they sing about in their intro.
It is, yeah. And that makes it a little bit easier.
Yeah.
Here's one you may or may not know. Golden Girls.
That takes place in Florida.
That's the state. What city?
Man, my friend Annie will kill me. I don't watch Golden Girls. I know it takes place in Florida. I don't know. There's all these. Let's just go with Orlando. I don't know.
Miami.
All right. No, I knew it was in Florida, but I didn't know what city.
All right. Moving on to the next one, the sitcom that we're looking for the city for. Home Improvement.
Oh, Detroit.
It is. Oh, you know what? You didn't say what state.
Michigan. You just said city. Yeah. Do you want me to say the state too? Yep.
City and state.
Okay. Yep. Detroit, Michigan.
Yep. You got that one. All right. The next one, and Tony, you've got 6 so far, is The Office.
Oh, Scranton, Pennsylvania.
Good job.
This is all useless trivia that I can just keep at the back of my head. I don't know why.
Yeah. All right. Maybe a little bit harder now. We're looking for city and state. Murphy Brown.
Ooh. I didn't really watch Murphy Brown. That one I don't know. Yeah, I didn't really watch the show.
Takes place in Washington, D.C.
Okay. Then you know.
She was a political reporter, so. But again, you didn't watch it. So.
I didn't watch the show, no. Yeah. Wasn't for me.
Here's one. If you know it, you know it. If you don't, you don't. Throw back a little bit. The Mary Tyler Moore Show. What city and state was that in?
You're right. They get harder if you don't watch the show. Seemed like good suburban living. Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
Minneapolis, Minnesota is where that took
place. Minnesota. Yeah, no. Never watched the show.
All right. Moving on with sitcom cities. Now you've got 7. You just need 3 more, Tone. This one, you may know the city, but the state might be a little bit tough. The Andy Griffith Show.
Oof. I remember seeing this as a kid. It was a southern state. It took place down south. A lot of bayou fishing. I'm gonna say. Oh man, did it take place in Alabama? I don't know. I don't even know.
We'll give you a buzzer on that one. It's Mayberry, North Carolina. So a lot of people know the town of Mayberry, but
nah, that makes sense in that country song. I miss Mayberry.
There you go. All right, the next one, Tony. Family Ties. Where did Michael P. Keaton live?
Oh, I started out so good. Now I'm just tanking. Not on purpose, though, Ryan. That one took place in Los Angeles, California.
You get nothing. You lose. Good day, sir.
Columbus, Ohio.
Not even close.
Nope. This one you may or may not know. I know you were a big fan of the show. That 70s Show.
Oh, that took place in Wisconsin, but
got that part right.
Yeah. Oh, damn. Hold on, let me think. It took place in Green Bay, Wisconsin, because they go to the Packers games.
They do go to Packers games, but the name of the city, Point Place, Wisconsin.
Ah, damn. Nah.
Yeah. Here's one hopefully you should know. Might be a little hint for you. Mork and Mindy. Where does Mork and Mindy take place?
Oh, Boulder, Colorado.
Where's that button?
I've been to the Mork and Rourke house. After Robin Williams died, I've seen it.
No kidding. That's kind of cool. All right, moving on. We got about a minute and a half left. The next show, City and State, Roseanne.
Oh, Roseanne took place in, it was in Illinois. It took place, but it wasn't Chicago. It was it Rockford, Illinois?
Oh, you are so close, but sadly.
Yeah. Damn, I'm trying, buddy. I'm trying. I only got to get 2 more for him to win him the loot crate.
Lanford, Illinois.
Lanford. Okay, Rockford, Lanford. But I knew it was in Illinois because Dan was a Bears fan. All right, fire it at me. Let's see if I can win Ryan a loot crate in 45 seconds.
All right. Next one, come and knock on our door. Where does Three's Company take place?
Three's Company took place in, it was on a beach area. Don Knotts was the landlord. Did that one take place in Santa Monica, California?
Oh, you pulled it out, Tone.
Yeah. I knew it was down in a beach area. Okay, we got one more. Let's see if I can win Ryan with 20 seconds. Let's see if I can win him a loot crate.
All right. This is going to get tough. Mr. Belvedere. Where does Mr. Belvedere take place?
Oh, man. Sorry, Ryan. I'm not going to win you a loot crate. I'm going to say that one took place in Minnesota, Minneapolis, Minnesota.
Tony?
You get nothing.
Sorry, Ryan. I tried. Buddy. I tried.
Mr. Belvedere took place in Beaver Falls, Pennsylvania.
Not even close. I've never heard of Beaver Falls.
I don't know, but I'm sure you want to visit now.
Maybe with Marilyn. What? That was always the debate. Was the kid Marilyn Manson, or was he Paul from... Paul. They always thought the kid from Wonder Years was Marilyn Manson, who was in Mr. Belvedere. That was always kind of the... And they're completely all different people, all 3 of them. All different.
Yep. Well, folks, that does it for the Tony Beatdown. Unfortunately, Tony didn't win Ryan a loot crate, but we will still send you some Fenix fan gear to help ease the pain a little bit. That does it. I already said that. So when we come back, we've got a segment called Helicopter Parents. Folks, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Okay, what are you wearing right now?
Nothing.
That's right. So mommy's going to teach you how to dress yourself. Underwear always comes first, name tag at the back, then pants, then shirt. Get the first button in the right hole or you have to start all over. Socks going first, then shoes, right on right, left on left. With shoelaces, just take the ends, cross them over, switch the loops, the rabbit goes down the hole, pull tight, and you're left with bunny ears. Got it? Why are your pants on your head?
Most parenting is hard to do in just 2 minutes. But 2 minutes twice a day making sure they brush their teeth is easier, and it could help save them from a lifetime of tooth pain. Visit 2min2x.org to find out more. A message from the Partnership for Healthy Mouths, Healthy Lives, and the Ad Council.
This message is for all of you sitting in the passenger seat. And apologies if it gets a little uncomfortable. But how does it feel to be at the mercy of someone who thinks a random text is more important than your life? Someone who takes their eyes off the road while speeding along in a 3-ton hunk of steel. Freaky, right? Well, why not just ask them to stop? Or better yet, volunteer to text for them. It might be a little awkward, but believe me, you'll live.
Learn more at stoptextstoprex.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration.
We are live outside the home of Joe and Rosie Goddard, where a pretty big tickle fight broke out just minutes ago. Sources say their father instigated the laughter. Let's go inside for a comment. Apparently, they have no comment. Dads, let this be a reminder that it only takes a moment to make a moment. Call 877-4DAD-411 or visit fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
How's it going? I'm having a stroke. Are you going to shake my hand? I'm having a stroke. Wow, you're not even moving your arm. I'm having a stroke.
When someone is having a stroke, they may not be able to say it with words, but their body language will tell you loud and clear. Look for FAST. F. Face drooping. A. Arm weakness. S. Speech difficulty. T. Time to call 911 immediately. Know the sudden signs. Spot a stroke fast. Visit strokeassociation.org. Brought to you by the American Stroke Association and the Ad Council.
Hello, Kubo. What have you got planned for today?
Come on, this way.
Adventure can be found anywhere, but the best place to start is in the forest.
It's the most powerful magic there is.
Head outside to discover incredible animals.
Wow.
And beautiful plants that come together to create an unforgettable adventure. So grab your loved ones and explore a world of possibilities. Visit discovertheforest.org to find the closest forest or park to you. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the U.S. Forest Service.
My teacher said that we should have a plan in case of an emergency. Do we have one?
First thing I'm going to do is grab a flashlight with dead batteries.
I'm going to start randomly throwing clothes in the bag. You two will be hiding in the closet and Dad won't be able to find you.
And that's when we both start crying.
Uncontrollably. Can you pass the cutlets?
Winging it is not an emergency plan. Make sure your kids know what to do during an emergency, who to call, where to meet, what to pack. Search Ready Kids at nyc.gov or call 311. Brought to you by the New York City Office of Emergency Management and the Ad Council.
You're listening to Fenix Media, the future of broadcasting. Listen live at phoenixmedia.us. Get everything you need for the Kristian Fenix radio show over at phoenixmedia.us or on Facebook at facebook.com/Fenix Media Radio. Now back to the show. Indeed. This is the Kristian Fenix radio show. Now we have a little thing we talk about a couple times each show. It is the Fenix Line, our 24-hour-a-day, 7-day-a-week voicemail line, giving you guys the opportunity to chime in on anything whatsoever, including our call-in topic of the day, which we give 24 hours in advance. Tomorrow's topic is rejected. Do you have a funny or traumatizing rejection story? We want to hear about it. Give us a call at 855-FENIX-RADIO. That's 855-FENIX-RDIO or 855-336-4973 for the alphanumerically impaired. All we ask is that you keep it entertaining. We'll compile those together, put them out in a future show. Now, in this segment that I've titled Helicopter Parents, we're going to be talking about some parents, some mothers, some people who just can't leave their kids alone in the most helicopter parent fashionable. Now, Tony, are you familiar with the term helicopter mom, helicopter dad, helicopter parent?
No, I'm picturing Inspector Gadget with his little handles flying around with the helicopter thing. That's what I'm picturing that. And then when you say rejected for tomorrow's topic, I'm thinking of that new Nestle Crunch commercial. And there's this hot girl, and there's this nerdy guy, and he goes, "I'm in the friend zone." And he's holding up a Nestle Crunch. She's like, "We didn't work out, but we became friends. I'm in the friend zone now." That's what I thought. My brain's weird.
Okay. Maybe you inspired that rejection story.
Oh, God, maybe. That wouldn't surprise me, man. My life is a Mosby.
The term helicopter parents talk about, parents who hover over their kids, try to protect them from everything the outside world has to throw at them. They'd rather wrap their kids in bubble wrap than let them experience things for themselves. So that's what we're talking about here. Now, there is also the term of snowplow parents, where these are parents who will basically move things out of their way to make things happen for their kids. Think Lori Loughlin in the whole Varsity Blues scandal, who go out of their way to make sure their kid gets into a good college, no matter what the cost. Obviously, she's paying for it now. But I digress. We're talking helicopter parents. For instance, let's start out with this one where, for a lot of helicopter parents, they like to throw this term out there. I did my own research, which loosely translates to, I watched somebody else's shitty YouTube video. Which is true. It's they on things they see on the internet. The internet is only so true. You have to make decisions for yourself, and obviously, if there's a YouTube video about it, make sure you trust the source.
Yeah, absolutely. According yesterday, I was on a beach in Florida when that picture was really like a week and a half old. But a lot of people really thought I went back. They're like, again? Didn't you just come back?
Well, you did perfect your teleporter, so there is that.
Dude, if I could do that, it wouldn't matter where in the world I would live. I can teleport anywhere. That'd be awesome. God, that'd be awesome.
That would be really cool.
Wouldn't that be rad? That'd be so cool.
Now, what if you had to teleport like in Terminator? You had to go completely naked.
It's fine. I'm willing to show my noodle and my ass cheeks to the strangers. I can cup it and run.
There you go. Oh, we're getting off topic, but we're having fun nonetheless. We're talking helicopter parents.
You got that vision in your head now. Yikes.
Unfortunately. It's a trap. Here's a parent who posted a picture of the bus driver outside the bus wearing their mask, obviously, as everybody else is right now, and has one of the thermometer guns that, people utilize, the laser on the forehead. And of course, has a very strong opinion about it. Watching children getting accustomed to having a gun object being shot on everyone's foreheads and having it done on their own foreheads without any reaction and voluntarily allowing it to be done. So disturbing. Do not consent.
No.
What's with kids today, huh? No respect.
Just take the laser shot, kids. What a Karen, dude.
It's like the Pepe.
What do you want it? What do you want it to be? Do you want it to be like a Men in Black like phaser thing? Like, look into this.
Right, it resembles a gun, so God forbid.
Oh, it's like the emoji, like you can't have the gun emoji; it has to be a squirt gun.
Right, because that's less offensive.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on with helicopter parents. It's a trap. Here's one who doesn't want to let their kid go to school quite yet. Says, why would you want to start schooling before 100% necessary? We'll come back to that in a second. I honestly think starting kindergarten the way it is now, before 5, is too early considering a child's attention span. To which somebody replies, so that way my kid grows up knowing how to spell the word necessary.
I like it. It's true.
Yeah.
If you're going to go on a rant and put it out there in public, you better proofread it. Make sure you spelled your stuff right. It sounds like she either almost did a voice text like I do, or she really just typed it and just didn't give two shits to fix the grammar.
Who knows? But either way, it's a little disturbing that they don't want their kid to be educated. Let's keep moving on. We're talking helicopter parents. It's a trap. God, I hope this isn't real. Says, how do I convince my cousin who is dead set on a home birth to not do an at-home circumcision? Her husband is a dog breeder who crops ears and docks tails, so she thinks that he should be able to perform circumcision just fine. This makes me very nervous for the baby. She believes it is fine, so I will be showing her these replies to prove her that no, the F it is not. I don't know about you. I don't want anybody who's not qualified near my child with a blade.
No, that is a how about no. I can't find the soundbite for that one, but how about no?
Nope.
Oh my gosh, no way. That's
Oh my God!
No, thank you.
Let's move on. Helicopter parents. Boy, this one is the definition of a helicopter parent.
Hold on to your butts.
They said, did I just read that right? 2-year-olds wanting their own privacy? That's a big hell no for me. My oldest son is 9, and I still shut the shower curtain and sit on the toilet seat and wait for him to need a towel when done. Basically, she's saying she sits in the bathroom with the 9-year-old while he showers. To which somebody replies,
I told me and Randy said.
I was trying to mute it so you could finish. I know you were going to go again.
Somebody replied, I'm pretty sure a 9-year-old can bathe themselves. I know I definitely won't be sitting in a bathroom when he's that old.
No, it's too long. It's like the ones that are still breastfeeding when the kid's like 4, you know?
Oh, we're getting there, Tone.
Oh, great. Oh, fantastic. Here we go.
I told me and Randy Savage is not happy with your decision, yeah.
Sorry, you got interrupted by Randy on that last one.
That's all right. Let's move on with helicopter parents. We're not quite there yet, but this one, this might take the cake.
Hold on to your butts.
Post from a parent. You guys, we have to do something about the store. Hot topic. I went there today with my daughter Ashley just to see if they had any of those cute little pop figures of Carrie Underwood, and I was just in shock by the merchandise they sold. This store gladly promotes Satanism and the homosexuals. I asked to speak to a manager regarding their horrid merchandise, and this young lady with colorful clown hair and piercings all over her face said she was the manager. Quickly told her, never mind, grabbed my daughter and left the store because with the good Lord as my savior, I wasn't about to talk to a store full of gay satanic clowns.
Ooh.
As a woman of faith, I will pray for the Hot Topic and their employees who desperately need the Lord's guiding light because it's poisoning the minds of our kids. Watch out for those gay satanic clouds, right?
Yeah, definitely. You gotta watch for it, man. You never know. What a crazy witch, man.
Yeah.
I get people think like that, but it blows my mind that people actually think like that.
It's scary. It is really scary. Let's keep moving on. We're talking helicopter parents.
Hold on to your butts.
Ooh. Yeah. Be careful when you go to work if somebody brings you homemade goods. For instance, this person who put, my husband says I'm gross for making cookies for work with breast milk. It's healthy, right?
I like those odds.
Yeah, man.
Wow.
Well, if you don't know about it, it's not going to harm you, you know? It's just, that's just something like, that's not right. Like that's mentally, I don't know what makes any person think like, you know, I'm just going to use breast milk. Like just use milk. Like just use the milk you have. It's fine. You know, that's a bit much.
I'd be pissed if I found out somebody used breast milk in cookies that they then willingly gave me.
Yeah.
Not good. Not good.
No, it's not ethical. You don't do stuff like that.
Yeah. Boy, time is running out. You know, we don't have time to get to all of them, but I think we're going to close out with this one because this one is just about as disturbing as it gets. Talking helicopter parents.
Hold on to your butts.
Says, believe it or not, there's nothing wrong with a little bit of poop. It is minimally toxic. We actually use small amounts periodically in our kids' diets. As we have read, it makes their immune system stronger. Kind of like eating
out of here.
Kind of like eating dirt or putting a pacifier back in a baby's mouth when fallen on the floor. We use about a tablespoon and add it to chili. The kids have no clue.
Oh my God, yeah. They're going to be pissed off when they find out they've been eating shit their whole life. Oh.
I would be angry. I would be furious. That is disgusting.
Oh.
If you make like a tree and get out of here.
Whoa, that takes the booby milk to a whole other, that's worse.
Oh, it certainly is. But, you know, we do this show to educate and hopefully warn people in this case. Folks, when we come back, we are headed into the final segment of the show. It is time for This Day in History. Don't go anywhere and don't be eating any poop.
Poop. He old man said poop.
This is Mario Andretti. You know me as a race car driver, but I'm also a Meals on Wheels volunteer. I've raced against the sport's biggest personalities, but I've never met more vibrant, amazing people than the seniors served by Meals on Wheels. You can make a difference by dropping off a hot meal and saying a quick hello. So, America, let's do lunch. Volunteer your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org.
This message brought to you by Meals on Wheels America and the Ad Council.
People been saying to your friend, get a different face, and posting on their feed, they're super ugly. The things they say to them online are cruel and they're not true. So tell your friend, I'll stand up for you. Don't worry, I know what to do.
Know someone being bullied online? You can be a witness and make a difference by letting the world know it isn't cool and by letting your friend know you care. Learn more at eyewitnessbullying.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
Hope you enjoyed your meal. And I just want to say, he's lucky to have a brother like you.
Lucky? Caring for my brother is far from easy. But he's a part of me, like my arms and legs, so I'll be his. No time for tired. Nothing can disable this love. He needs me, but I'm the lucky one, even though I need help now and then.
If you're caring for a loved one, visit aarp.org/caregiving for care guides and community. Support for your strength. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Allison is perfect. I mean, she'd never tell you that. She's humble and perfect. She likes everyone. She even likes her untidy roommate's weird guinea pig. Allison, wait, are you texting and driving? Allison, no. That's the exact opposite of what I was just saying about you. Why, Allison? Why? Texting and driving makes good people look bad. Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
I'm Paul George of the Indiana Pacers. When I was 6, my days were spent playing basketball. When I was 6, my dream was to make it to the NBA. When I was 6, my mom had a stroke. So I want you to learn to spot a stroke fast. F-A-S-T. F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. S, speech difficulty. T, time to call 911. I'm Paul George. Spot a stroke fast. Visit strokeassociation.org. Brought to you by the American Stroke Association and the Ad Council.
My name is Lola Silvestri, and I'm going to be 95 this year. I was very independent. I fell, and I had to have Meals on Wheels. America, let's do lunch.
1 in 6 seniors faces the threat of hunger, and millions more live in isolation. Drop off a hot meal and say a quick hello. Volunteer for Meals on Wheels by donating your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org. This message brought to you by Meals on Wheels America and the Ad Council.
You're listening to Fenix Media, the future of broadcasting. Explore more great shows at phoenixmedia.us. Get everything you need for the Kristian Fenix radio show over at phoenixmedia.us or on Facebook at facebook.com/Fenix Media Radio. Now back to the show. Well, folks, we did it. We made it to the final segment of this episode of the Kristian Fenix radio show, but not before we drop a little knowledge on you with this day in history. Now, if you missed a portion of the show, you want to go back and catch up on any of the previous shows, it's easy enough to do so. Head over to phoenixmedia.us, click on the show's link, scroll on down to the Kristian Fenix radio show. From there, you can get video, you can get audio as well, or head over to wherever you get podcasts. Apple, Google, Stitcher, Spotify, Anchor Breaker, TuneIn, iHeart, Doozer, Dozer, Geezer, Gozer.
Are you a god?
No! 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 No, 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 no!
That's a lot of no's for you.
It's a no supercut.
That was a supercut. An array of stars. I'm sure you could tell a few of them in there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But folks, while you're there, be sure to subscribe. That way you always have the latest episode. Leave a review. Let us know what you think and tell your friends. Because why, Tony?
Sharing is caring.
Unless it's poop in your chili.
Yeah, don't do that. That's wrong. There's no protein. There's nothing. Nothing good comes of that. You're digesting it. It's waste. It's called waste for a reason.
That's going to haunt the rest of my day. But, you know,
yeah.
You know, it's not going to haunt the rest of my day. When we drop a little knowledge, hopefully make you laugh at the same time. It is time for This Day in History.
Traversing the globe for the stories that turn the world on its head. It's This Day in History with your correspondent on the beat,
Kristian Fenix.
All right. Thanks, Siri. Let's kick off This Day in History with this day in 1497, where Nicholas Copernicus has his first recorded astronomical observation. So what did he do? Go outside at night and look up?
Yep, and he goes, I see stars. One day, they will make a movie about time travel, and the scientists will name their dog after me, Copernicus.
Let's move on. This day in 1522, Martin Luther begins preaching his Invokavit sermons in the German city of Wittenberg, reminding citizens to trust God's word rather than violence, and thus helping bring to a close the revolutionary stage of the Reformation. Yes, you don't have to murder people to make them believe.
In a cara de vida, baby. I didn't know there was another Martin Luther. This guy was definitely not the king.
No, if you've heard about the Lutheran Church, that's where it came from.
Oh, alrighty.
Let's move on. This day in 1765, after a public campaign by the writer Voltaire, judges in Paris posthumously exonerate Jean Calas of murdering his son. Calas had been tortured and executed in 1762 on the charge, though his son had actually committed suicide. Fatality. Not only was he wrongfully accused, he was tortured and executed for
it. Wasn't me, it was the one-armed man.
No!
Wow, that sucks.
Let's move on. This day in 1891. The Great Blizzard of 1891 begins in England and lasts until March 13th, kills 200 people and 6,000 animals. Tony, you're getting ready for the Great Blizzard of 2021, aren't you?
Yeah, supposedly. What broke on 7 News is we're supposed to get 2 feet of snow on Friday through Monday. You're ruining my weekend plans, Mother Nature. You better not. Just blow over. So we'll see if it's true. I mean, that's an awfully lot to be predicting. So
yeah. Well, with any luck, you'll only get a dusting.
That's what I'm hoping.
Let's move on. This day in 1922, Eugene O'Neill's Hairy Ape premieres in New York City. No, that wasn't a sex show. It was a play.
It was called the Hairy Ape.
The Hairy Ape.
Oh, I know somebody that left somebody for a hairy ape.
Let's move on. This day in 1936, Babe Ruth, we've been talking about him a lot recently, turns down the Reds to make a comeback as a player. I didn't realize that.
Then how do you make a comeback? Like, who do you go play for?
Well, it would either have to have been the Yankees or the Red Sox. I think those were the only 2 teams he ever played for, right?
Yeah, I can't recall him playing for anybody else, but...
Do you remember yesterday what his world's largest contract was?
Yep, $130,000 for a 2-year contract.
Something along those lines. Well, this day in 1946, Ted Williams is offered $500,000 to play in the Mexican Baseball League, but he refuses.
Whoa.
Would you turn down $500,000 in 1946? I don't know if
Hell
I could.
No. I mean, yeah, I've never heard of the Mexican Baseball League, but for that kind of money,
right.
At the time, I'd be down.
Absolutely.
Like, I'd go work at a Mexican Costco for that right now. I'd leave. I'd go.
Yeah, you learn a new language, see some new sights.
Yeah, it'd be a little frightening down there, but
dodge some cartels. You know how it goes.
Yeah.
All right. Let's move on. This day in 1951, Edward Teller and Stanislaw Ulam submit a classic paper at the Los Alamos lab in which they propose their revolutionary new design, staged implosion for a practical megaton range hydrogen bomb. Toasty! Ooh, that scares me.
Yeah. The fact that people could create this, let's come up with a big hydration bomb, it will blow up everything. Just don't create it. How about that? Just don't.
Yep.
Just don't make it.
And they're all either pointed at us, pointed at China, or pointed at Russia. And so, speaking of Russia, this day in 1961, Soviet flight Sputnik 9 carries and returns from orbit a dog named Chernuska, also known as Blackie, frogs, and a guinea pig.
This dog looks happy. So.
Oh, that dog's not happy for too much longer. Being shot in space.
Yeah. He's like, oh, who's a good puppy? Who's a good pooch? You're going to space.
Let's move on. This day in 1961, Wilt Chamberlain of the NBA Philadelphia Warriors scores 67 points versus the Knicks. I didn't realize that Philadelphia used to be the Warriors. Did they move?
Yeah, I didn't either.
Oakland? Who knows?
Yeah, I don't know. They must have. Oh, because they became the 76. Well, they're currently the 76ers, right?
Yep.
Huh. I didn't even know Wilt Chamberlain played for him.
I didn't either. See, you learn something new every day on this show.
You do.
For instance, this day in 1984, John Lennon's single Borrowed Time is released posthumously. Apparently, a somewhat ironic name for the single as well.
Yeah, I was going to say he pulled a Tupac. You know how Tupac for a long time was putting out new music? Well, in 84, we have the new John Lennon one. Borrowed Time.
Apparently, Prince is still putting out new music as well, at least his estate.
Yeah, I was going to say, I guess that guy had a lot in the vault.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff. So it is always interesting when they are releasing. It's like Static X. They still continue to put out new music, even though Wayne's been gone for a long time. Not that he's even close to being on the same level as Lennon, but...
But we get where you're going with that. Let's move on. This day in 1998, Dr. Dre's Aftermath Entertainment signs the then unknown rapper, a little guy named Eminem.
Yep. That first album was kind of goofy, too. It was like, is this guy like a comedian actor? Like, what's up with him? You know? Because the first song was My Name is Slim Shady. And he used to just make fun of all the pop stuff. But he's a hell of a good rapper, though. The guy's talented.
He really is. You know, you don't see much from him anymore. But at the same time, I understand he's still putting out music.
Oh, yeah, he's on the, the cancel brigade out there. They're trying to cancel him. And he released a track that kind of just shot on him. So that's what he does. You piss him off, he'll write a song about you. It don't matter.
Yep. And then finally, this day in history, this day in 2002, Joe Sakic plays his 1,000th career NHL game. He just has a badass last name, Joe Sakic.
Sakic, yeah, and he's also he's our GM for the Avs. He was a hell of a great player, and he's doing hell of a great things for our Avalanche here. So
very cool,
definitely awesome, yeah.
Well, folks, before we head out for the day, let's run down some of today's holidays, where we talk about the things that we like to celebrate. For instance, today is Amerigo Vespucci Day.
Vespucci.
He was a explorer. Here's one I have no idea what it means. It is Bang Clang Day.
I'm going to bang clang, wing a dang dang today.
Maybe your neighbors will bang clang today.
Bang clang, ram jam and bang clang.
Today is Barbie Day. So get those Barbies out.
Yeah, go play with your Barbies.
While you're playing with Barbies, you can play with your false teeth because it is False Teeth Day.
Ooh, yes. I love to play with my false teeth. They're sexy white teeth. No big deal.
It is National Meatball Day. Who doesn't love a good meatball?
One for a whole meatball for you.
It is Joe Franklin Day, whoever Joe Franklin happens to be.
Down goes Franklin.
It is National Crab Meat Day. It is Get Over It Day, so get over it. It is
Get Over It.
Names Day. It is Panic Day, and it is Organize Your Home Office Day, which I may just do. Needs a little organized around here. Folks, that does it for today's show. When we come back tomorrow on a Wednesday, we run down Words Are Hard. So enjoy the rest of your Tuesday. We will see you all tomorrow. Peace!
Jimmy Chungus.